Welcome to our YouTube channel, where the shadows speak and the walls remember. Tonight, we bring you a terrifying tale that will leave you questioning what lurks just beyond the glass. Turn off your lights, plug in your headphones, and prepare yourself for the chilling true horror of The Girl at the Window. It all began in a quiet New England town, nestled between a cemetery and a long-forgotten forest. The kind of place where neighbors nod but never talk too much, where the houses have secrets and the windows always seem to watch you back. 13-year-old David Ashford had just moved into 19 Carver Lane with his recently divorced mother, eager to start fresh after a bitter custody battle left him withdrawn, angry, and often talking to himself. The house was old, Victorian style, with creaky wooden floors, rusting doorknobs, and a massive second-floor bedroom window that faced the forest like an eye staring into darkness. David's mom worked double shifts at the local diner, leaving him alone most nights with his homework and an unsettling sense that the house was listening. On the third night after moving in, at exactly 2:17 a.m., David heard a faint tap. He thought it was the wind, but then it came again, tap-tapped, rhythmic, too deliberate. Reluctantly, he rolled out of bed and peered through the curtains. There she was. A girl in a white dress, standing outside his second-floor window, barefoot, with hair dripping wet like she'd climbed out of a river. Her eyes were wide, dark, and sorrowful, and her lips didn't move, but David could swear he heard a whisper in his head. "Let me in." He screamed. His mother came running, saw nothing, and blamed the nightmares he'd been having since the move. But it wasn't a dream. Every night after that, she returned at 2:17 a.m., never speaking aloud, just staring, always waiting. David began locking the window, closing the curtains, even stacking bookshelves in front of it. But somehow, every night the curtains would part, the glass would fog, and he'd wake up to see her face just inches away, crying silent tears, mouthing words. He couldn't understand. He stopped sleeping. He started drawing her in his school books. His teachers noticed. His mom grew worried, and a school counselor asked him about the girl. David told them everything, but instead of helping, they chalked it up to trauma and overactive imagination. Until one day, his art teacher pulled his mother aside and said, "You need to see this." On David's latest sketch, beneath the drawing of the girl, in neat, childlike handwriting, were the words, "She fell, and I watched. Now she waits." That night, David did something reckless. He waited at the window for her. When she appeared, he didn't scream. He whispered, "Who are you?" And for the first time, she moved. One hand slowly rose and pointed to the woods. David ran outside, barefoot and freezing, flashlight trembling in his hand, chasing shadows between the trees until he found it, a crumbling stone well, moss-covered and forgotten. Something compelled him to look inside. There, at the bottom, he saw a broken doll, a piece of lace fabric, and bones. Human bones. The police were called. The well was dug up. The town went quiet when they learned what was inside. 22 years ago, a little girl named Margaret Holloway had vanished without a trace. She was last seen playing in her backyard, the same backyard David now lived in. Her father had claimed she was kidnapped. Some thought he'd done it. Others believed she ran away. But nobody had ever found a body. Until now, David became a local hero. The news ran stories. His mother cried on camera. The town paid for a proper burial, but Margaret's ghost didn't go away. She returned the very next night. This time, her eyes weren't sad. They were hollow. Her mouth stretched open wider than before, whispering not, "Let me in," but something far worse, "You took my place." David's mom found him the next morning, curled up by the window, eyes wide open, pupils dilated, not responding. Doctors said it was catatonic shock, but David heard everything. Every night in that frozen state, he could feel her standing just inches away, whispering into his soul. They moved again. New city, new school, therapy, medication. Things got better for a while. But at exactly 2:17 a.m., no matter where they lived, the window would fog and the whisper would return. "Let me in." Years passed. David grew up, tried to forget. Moved to New York, became a teacher, got married. But every house he moved into, every hotel, every apartment, she found the window, even when there wasn't one. His wife never believed him, until one night He vanished from their 30th floor condo. Window locked from the inside, no signs of forced entry, just a single wet footprint on the wooden floor beneath the curtain. The case went cold. Police said it was suicide. But his wife received an envelope in the mail a week later, no return address. Inside was a photo, a black and white shot of their bedroom, and in the window, the girl, still barefoot. Still staring? Still waiting? That's when the urban legend began. People on Reddit began sharing stories about the window girl. Teenagers started setting alarms for 2:17 a.m., daring each other to open their curtains and see if she appeared. Some said it was fake. Others posted photos, and a few disappeared. Paranormal investigators took interest. A documentary was made, but the director vanished during editing. His final footage showed him filming himself in a hotel room, staring at the window and whispering, "She's not just a ghost. She's a curse." Soon, strange events spread beyond the town. Reports of window sightings in India, the UK, even Japan. Always the same time, 2:17 a.m., always the same girl. Crying, pointing, staring. Some who saw her claimed they felt pulled, like gravity itself wanted them to jump, to fall, to join her. The death toll rose. But no one connected the dots except for one man, a retired historian named Elliot Graves, who uncovered something chilling. The original Margaret Holloway wasn't the first. She was just the most recent. Every 44 years, a child disappears in that house, always a girl, always never found. And always a witness, a boy who becomes the next target. Elliot's research traced the pattern back to 1829. Each case followed the same haunting rhythm. Girl dies, boy sees, boy survives but never escapes, until the curse resets. The house at 19 Carver Lane, it turns out, was built on the ashes of an old asylum, one where children were abandoned and forgotten, their souls trapped in a cycle of grief and revenge. Margaret, or whatever wore her face, wasn't seeking justice, she was seeking company, and David. He had simply been next in line. Elliot published his findings online. Within days, his post went viral. But 2 nights later, his grandson found him dead in his study, face twisted in terror, window wide open. Clock stuck at 2:17. Now, we tell this story not just to scare you, but to warn you. Because if you're watching this video, especially at night, and you happen to glance toward your window, and if you see fog forming on the glass, whatever you do, don't pull back the curtain. Because once you see her, she sees you too, and she never forgets a face. Thank you for watching The Girl at the Window. If you enjoyed this horror story and want more terrifying tales from around the world, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to our channel for more spine-chilling nightmares. And remember, keep your windows closed tonight.